Hi, I'm Jacob Grenz,
And I'm Winnie Stone.
and this is
Come on in, Queens. Ooh, that sounded good.
It did.
Uh,
I have an extra bit of a sibilant S because my tooth has been fixed,
Has it?
but it is an Invisalign retainer, and I'm learning how to talk with it, and so we might get a little bit of lisping during and spitting on my
Nice.
microphone during this.
So we
episode.
didn't have the last episode because your tooth kept
Yes.
falling out of your face.
Let me explain. So, and there were a couple people that reached out. That's so sweet. That were like missed the episode.
You'll get
So
some
sorry
like
about that.
bits and pieces of the lost episode.
Yes, yeah. And the reason was because when I was 18, I was in a car accident. I had my front four teeth cracked.
Yeah, no, we told the story on the pod.
Yeah, for those who haven't heard,
The Jeep.
the Jeep. I was in a Jeep 4-wheel driving in Colorado, and I hit the roll bar because the driver hit a tree. And I broke my front four teeth, and they've told me over the years that I need to get implants, and then that time has become now. Because right before we were going to record, I took a handful of trail mix, and she heard a snap.
A snap?
It was a snap.
So graphic.
Do you ever have dreams about your teeth crumbling? It's a pretty common dream.
You'd think I would, because doesn't that mean money problems?
It actually means powerlessness and a big change, a life change. So I would have thought you would have had them recently. Girl, you're really slathering your lips up there.
I'll tell you about it in a second.
Okay. But anyways, no tooth dreams.
No tooth dreams. Well, I mean, yes, I've had them in the past, yeah.
It's a pretty common dream, but people, when I tell this story, have had a visceral reaction to it because I think the thought of your teeth breaking is like gives people anxiety. But anyways, so that's what happened. I came in and I was like, the show must go on, and you were like, well, you should do the whole episode without a tooth. I am not vain, but I'm vain enough that I don't want an hour-long recording of me toothless.
You didn't even want to do our Secret Santa gift exchange afterwards with our best friends with your tooth out, so lame.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a very vulnerable thing to
No,
not
I
have a
know.
front tooth.
I know. I just like to give you shit.
I love that you won't even go on Squid Games without makeup, but you're like making fun of me for not being.
Why can't you just be Hillbilly Joe
too.
Bob? Yeah.
That's what Jeremy was calling me. He was like, "You're kind of like a hot trailer park person right now." But anyway,
Well,
we're back. We're back. I have
You
tooth.
fixed that this week by your fake Invisalign tooth. I fixed my problem,
Yes.
which was the dog wouldn't stop
Well,
barking and
Which
whining.
one, sweetie?
The current dog that I'm currently dog sitting. And
No,
my
the current
fix
problem, but okay.
What?
Yes.
The second reason we had to call it last week was because the dog I'm dog sitting wouldn't shut the fuck
Yes.
up. And so yeah, that fix was I just came back to my own apartment to record. Imagine that.
What else is going on?
I told my therapist this week, I was like, I'm just so sick of constantly running late. I'm just always like running late. And she was like, you always show up to our sessions on time. In fact, I don't think you've ever been late. And I was like, when I tell you, I'm like, before I walk in here, have taken the last like big heaving breath of like finally catching my breath of running in here. Like every single time I make it to things on time, I log on here on time, but I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really annoying.
So is this a new thing, or is this an
Yeah.
always thing?
It's a lady thing.
It's new.
It's
It's a lady
there's
thing.
lots
It's
of
new.
steps.
You're getting used to the agenda or the things that have to happen in order to be a woman before you come to things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And in recordings, I've been like, God, you can't even see my fucking makeup. Why do I spend so much time? I'm just gonna fucking slather it on next time and call it a day. And then I did today, and I feel like I look like a common whore.
No, whatever. When you turned, you were contoured, girl. It's like look at that.
But you said I was slathering on my lips because this morning they were kind of chapped and I was like rubbing them and like I could see like some dead skin peeling off. So I was like, oh great. So I just like took some tweezers and started like just tearing off the dead skin. And then
Yeah.
I of course got the wrong one that just ripped. Like, so I have like some fresh fresh
Oh,
skin that's like
yeah.
exposed, but it's like very visible. So trying to cover that up with some lip liner.
I always love when somebody pulls out a giant. Have you seen like the giant chapstick or lip liners? It looks like a roll-on deodorant
Yeah.
from somebody's purse. I just always enjoy that.
Yeah, they're like,
What are you doing?
oh. Yeah. No, instead I use German diaper cream.
You're
Ting.
a mess.
I try to, think outside the box. Think big brain thinking.
Big brain thinking. I'm
Oh,
trying to highlight
Jacob,
my
what's on your
shirt.
shirt there?
So we had a Secret Santa gift exchange after um, our non-recording last week, and our sweet friend Tyler got me this "Come On In Queens" shirt. And I'm such a dad. I realized that I had put in the Secret Santa gift because you could put what gifts you wanted, and like a lot of people had, like Johnny, who I had a lot of gifts to choose from, and you put a lot of gifts in there. I put gift cards. That was my one.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So I
really
didn't give people a lot to work on, but he did a good job. He got me this shirt. It's great. It fits great. It's just
And
a little bit of
tell
my
him.
bicep.
Ooh, yes. Tell them what he did for the along with it.
Yeah, hold on. This would be as if I were somebody coming in who just got eliminated, and it has like water seal on it. So cute.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Dear Jacob, by order of the Traitors, have a Merry Christmas. I'm the ultimate traitor, Santa. Isn't that so cute?
It's so cute.
Adorable.
He's so
Speaking of
creative
which,
like that.
he's so creative. Speaking of which, we're going to pivot from Survivor to recapping the Traitors.
And we
I
can't.
think, right? That's what we're.
Yeah. I all
Okay.
about it. Yes. Absolutely. I do not think that we are alone in sharing our complete and utter disdain for current iteration of US Survivor.
Yeah, and that looks like it might continue. So, anything else before we start talking about this finale?
Yes, of course. There's a million things.
It's so cool.
What it actually feels like fucking summer outside comparatively to how it's been the last few days.
No, I know. There's a fan at the desk that was blowing on me. That's why.
I feel like there's so much. I was walking down the street the other day and I was like, oh, it's so nice that people still have their Christmas lights up. And then I was like, oh, Christmas hasn't even happened yet. I thought like Christmas was over. It's been such a weird year.
Whirlwind. Mm-hmm.
It's just a
It has
weird
been.
fucking year. I have a lot going on in my personal life that I'm not going to divulge on this podcast, but it's cool. I'm happy about it.
Cool. Yay. I can tell from the glimmer of your eye in your eye you got banged.
But it's maybe on the it may be on the horizon because I'm a
Oh, it's on
virgin.
the horizon today or tomorrow? Tomorrow.
Well, maybe
She's gonna
tomorrow.
get that lady cherry popped.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe not. Maybe on Christmas. I don't know. I can't be too specific because you don't want to let the boys know if I'm talking about them or not.
The multiple men that are in your in your orbit. Well, what a year.
Yeah, I really wanted to travel this year, but I think that the opportunities that I had to travel this year would have also required me to put a lot of trust into strange men that I don't know. You don't want to be flying around, especially when these days there are certain places I could travel that because I renewed my passport when I changed my name, and literally the second all of my shit got sent off was when the whole debacle of like let's rail against the trans passports. Yes. And so at that point I was like, I just want it back. Just give it back. Because at this point I didn't have my old one, don't have my new one. And when it came back, did have a big fucking fat M on it with a little letter that explained why with red circles and underlines around like, because this was not the gender you were born as. Like really fucked up shit. I was like, oh, I'm saving this for the scrapbook. Like, we're going to show the grandkids this at, like, when Grandma Winnie was just a young, sprightly thing, they said, M for you. But, so yeah, I don't care, but there are certain places I could travel that would say, this doesn't really match up with how you're presenting. So straight to jail with you.
Yeah, what a tyrannical administration we live under.
And it's
And what an
only-
amazing thing that you still think you could have children.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to try my damnedest.
You're going to try your best today or tomorrow or whenever it happens with one of these men in your orbit that's unspecific. Should we talk about the episode?
I guess so.
Okay. Prior to that, Dalton Ross, you know who Dalton Ross is?
Of course.
Dalton Ross is a writer for Entertainment Weekly who generally recaps and is also out on the island during seasons of Survivor.
Yes.
He came out with his top 49 season rankings and included, well, obviously 48 and 49 in that. I was shooketh by his ranking.
Really?
Yeah. Let me just set the stage for this. We think that 40s have not been great. There are some seasons that I would rank. Like, he gave flowers to season 46. Like, he put it in 20 something.
He ranked all of the seasons.
All of the seasons, yes.
Ew.
I'm going to read for you. He did rank 49 as the lowest in the 40s. But I'm going to read to you the seasons that he ranked lower than both 48 and 49 because I want to get your reaction to it. Are you ready? A season ranked lower than season 49 and 48 of Survivor. Kaoh Rong.
Lower.
Exactly. Survivor All-Stars.
Kaoh Rong is featuring my second favorite winner of all time.
I know. Exactly. All-Stars. Survivor Gabon. Survivor Worlds Apart. I agree with that.
Wait,
Redemption Island.
Wait. Okay, but we've had all this time to reflect on such things that, yes, well, Gabon may have been garbage at the time, is now like this fond, silly, sort of comedy of errors that we love and hold so dear. So how very dare you?
How could you? Worlds Apart, I do agree with that in Redemption Island. Survivor Africa.
What?
And then
I mean,
Edge of Extinction.
I don't know,
Guatemala. Let me just read them off really quick. This one is Rage Bait. San Juan del Sur.
That's
One
the one
World,
that you tell people to watch first, right?
I know. Thailand, Fiji, Nicaragua, and then Island of the Idols. Nicaragua. So, needless to say, I don't agree with you, Dalton. I don't agree with you.
The only thing that I can say is we've had the luxury of being able to be starry-eyed fans that have been a little more than casual, but ultimately casual, as where he's had to put an IV drip of Survivor into his veins for much of his career. So I could understand why he may have different views. Those seem a little insane to me, but okay. Go off, sis.
I agree. He couldn't be more in the bag for Survivor. He's commentating. He's weekly touching base. I don't know if weekly, but pretty frequently touching base with Grandpa Jeff. He is writing for it every episode, so he could have a different perspective of it.
Yeah, he also might have been soiled by the opinions of the insiders too.
Not soiled.
Mm.
Well, that's actually a good word for it.
Uh-huh. Sorry.
Yeah, so a little bit tainted. But I think across the board, we're pretty much hearing that 48 and 49 probably in the lower tier of seasons. Sorry, cast of 49. I hate when I say that, and I think of anybody from cast of 49 who were what a bummer.
I mean, it's not their fault. They didn't.
It isn't their fault.
You can't help what you get cast on in terms of, because largely what we don't like is from production, even if it is casting. The way that they cast it. Still not their fault.
Production. I also listened to Drop Your Buffs did an interview with Lynn Spillman. Lynn Spillman.
Yes, I did not get a chance to listen, so I want you to sort of fill me in on that.
Yeah. She was the casting director of seasons 1 through 38. At season 39, she was asked to leave. She kind of says it was mutual because she felt she checked out around 37. So they needed to change it up. They didn't want to do recruiting. Recruiting was one of her favorite parts that she did of her job. She also expressed that, like, over time, and this happens in a job, I've talked about it in my own career, the further you get along in a career, the farther away you get from things that you like doing. So when you start off, she's talking about the casting season 1, and you have like 500 people they're presenting, or 50 or whatever. There was a small amount, a small pool. Then you're going to season 2 and 70,000 people applied to be on season 2. And then that exponentially grows. So then she has a team of people that's casting. So she's not doing the hands-on stuff. You get further away from what you like to do. So by 37, she's tapped out, right? She's more interested in what her kids are doing. She's casting other shows, whatever. But she did talk about the importance of the archetypes. And, you know, our friends at Dr. Boss are trying to get her to talk shit about the new era and Jeff, and she won't do it. She's grateful for her experience, but she does say that the great things about the archetypes was that it helped people to see the difference between the people and get to know them a little bit easier in the first few episodes. When you don't know who these people are, you connect them with people you know in your life, right? The archetypes. It's hard because they all blur together, I think, in the 40s, because they're all the super fan nerd archetype, right? So they all start to feel a bit the same. So
and largely from
that
like
point.
Same socioeconomic background too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Same kind of belief systems, essentially.
Yeah.
And then the other thing she brought up was the casting of recruits. And they kind of pulled that away. She didn't really give a reason for it, but she's the one that found us Courtney. She found us Earl Cole, she mentioned, who ended up winning. She found him in a mall the day before to present to CBS.
I want to know what she saw in Earl at a mall. I mean, he's like gorgeous. But
right.
like he's so like soft spoken and like he's just not a very like big personality. It's so funny. There was like a time, and I feel like this was more of a big thing on Big Brother, but there was a time when we were like, stop doing recruits. Just put a bunch of super fans together and let them like really like super game the game. And we have been getting that, and it's like, never mind. Please bring back the people who have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Because it's worse now when you are a super fan and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So it's like you don't know what you're doing, and you're being super cheesy and annoying about it too.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, interesting interview with her. And leading up to that, the reason that I was talking about the casting is what you just mentioned. I think that these people were a lot of the same type. They really leaned heavily into the nerd archetype, which I love the nerd archetype. I'm friends with the nerd archetype, but it's hard to tell them apart.
On casting, before you get too specific, I was actually, because the last episode or the episode before that, we were talking about Squid Game, and we were like, oh yeah, we should like try out whatever. Yeah. So I did make the 1-minute video, and as soon as you submitted it, they take you to another page where they ask you 18 million like hours long fucking questions that I was just like, okay. So then I was watching some videos with some casting directors who, one was Robin Cass, I can't remember the other one. They looked like the same person, which was hilarious. But they were saying they both agreed on the best get is someone who does not want to be on. Somebody who does not want to be on reality TV, somebody who does not want to be an actor, somebody who doesn't even want to play the game, but that they're like recruited and they're like, okay, I could maybe be sold for it. And then they end up like, you know, being awesome. And I totally get that, because now we get people who like, literally Savannah was saying it in her like final speech, like, we're all obsessed with this show. We're obsessed with all these past players, like blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, and that's what made everything fall flat.
Part of the reason. Anyway, let's get to the episode. 30 minutes in almost. Well, that was part of the episode we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think we started off, the first thing that I remember, because at the beginning we were talking about how the walking lymphedema of a president in office was going to do a speech. And so
he did it on the night because he knew it was the Survivor finale and at least like 6 million people or something would be tuned into that. So it's like, that's why he did it on that specific night.
And that was part of her point as well, because again, Drop Your Buffs was trying to get Len to talk shit about the newer, and she's like, they're still winning the spot in the ratings. And so they'll do whatever they want, right? And that's a sad part we'll talk about with 50. But anyway, the first thing I remember is where they had to run through the jungle and find an advantage. They had different colored clues, and this was all leading to putting a puzzle map together in which they would find an advantage, and then they all went to run for it, and then they started digging. And they were unsuccessful, and we get that shot of the camera always does that where it's like, oh, it's up there. And why aren't they looking up? You were screaming at them.
Well, okay, but so I have a note on during it when Savannah's talking about her like running through the thing, and she says, I feel like I'm creaming everybody. And I said,
Creaming?
I feel like I'm creaming everybody. And I said, no, that's Steven on the jury.
Steven, who, by the way, okay, we're jumping ahead, but he was looking like a fucking snack when he
shows up on the jury, and I finally was
cancels.
like, okay, first of all, Jacob,
you got it.
Dry your pants. Second of all, okay, Steven can get it.
Drama Mantis.
Mantis.
He could. He had a mustache. A rider mustache, or like a ride your face mustache, and then he didn't have one, and I kind of liked him without the mustache, to be honest with you. Hi, Steven.
But he kept that shirt unbuttoned just for that little peekaboo cleave, just for you.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it was certainly just for me. That was
So
what he was going.
One thing I will say. So many things about production have just been such garbage for the 40s, including editing. However, there still is some really like juicy, delicious, delightful editing moments. And this one was great. Okay, Sophie, I see everybody digging and I'm like, wait a second, I got to think outside the box here. Moments after she's actively looking on the ground, talking about digging, while Sage says, it's got to be in the air.
All right. I thought that was hilarious too. Like, oh, that out of the box thinking that was just giving to you.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I gotta think outside of the box of this thing that this girl just said to me.
Right. And so then she ends up getting the advantage. And the first thing you said is, ain't gonna do any good in that challenge, girl. And it sort of didn't.
Wait, no, this is different. Wait, what? Are you skipping ahead?
When No, she found the advantage, and
oh right,
it was
that
for
was
the
when...
reward
yes.
challenge. Yeah,
and then they reveal Grandpa Jeff reveals what the advantage is, and I said the players aren't even that excited about the challenge advantage, and Soph definitely knows it's going to do squat for her. Like literally, he says it, and they're all like, "No." Yeah. Everyone's like, "That seems fucking stupid."
It's hilarious to me that you notice that and I notice that. They do seem pretty underwhelmed most of the time, the players, which I feel bad. You know, like my favorite part when I would like binge watch Survivor during dark days, it would be like not pay attention to any of the game until the challenge came on, right? And then you would be like, oh, the challenge is on. It's going to be so cool. And then the final tribal council. And those are the pieces that I tune out of the game now because the challenges are so boring. I can't get over it.
The only good thing about this challenge, which was possibly the best moment of the entire season, was the slow-mo of Christina coming out of the mud, and you see the mud come out of her nostril. I screamed so loud that Finley ran off the couch. I was like scared of my screech.
I didn't even capture that moment in my head, so I'm glad that you pointed that out.
It was beautiful and glorious. And we thank you, Christina, because I know that when you saw that, you were probably mortified. But let me tell you, it was...
Yeah, and... sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fantastic. Like, you should be happy about it.
Yeah, you got a great moment of television. Unlike the Rainforest Cafe shark puzzle that they had to put together.
I said clip art.
It is.
Get that shark clip art. It's like they can't even be bothered. Gosh. At least the last one that you said that about had like different sort of patterns and stuff happening in it. This was literally just like a shark.
And they send them through the mud, of course, which they love sending them through the mud. And I'm not opposed to the mud. The funniest part, though, was that everything, remember we talked about this, everything's so bright and clean in the challenges now that when they slid down the slides, it looked like a giant skid mark.
I know. I know. And I made a note. The terrifying wood slides. That is not a slide, Mama. That is a drop. And it's got to be like time for splinters. And then it's so straight down into the sand. When Christina screamed at the bottom of it, I thought she broke her ankles. Like that. It's just this like we're so extra careful about certain parts of challenges or just challenges in general now. Yet then you have stuff like that in there, and it's like that's not fun. That's not fun for me to watch. I don't like seeing someone potentially. I'm like expecting like bone shards to be coming out of people's shins.
Ooh. Oh God, that image. Savannah looked like the girl from The Grudge. That came from my lover as we were watching it. She was so covered in mud. She did look like the girl from The Grudge.
But hey,
there was a little boy in The Grudge. I don't remember. The Grudge is a great movie, though.
Just a little girl. But at least they waited. At least it's not the covering them in mud in the first episode, which didn't they do?
That, yeah, we know who they are.
Didn't they do it this season as well?
They always do it.
Yeah,
they do it every season. They're like, take 16 people and completely wipe from your memory who any of them are because they're going to be covered in mud.
Yeah.
But at this point, Savannah wins the challenge, and she joins a elite group of 5 other women who have won 4 times. At which point, we had a little altercation in the room, you and I, because I think that sometimes you expect me to be your Survivor encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You're like, what other women? What other women? I'm like, Kim Spradlin, Chrissy Hopbeck, and I don't know what other women, but I have the other women now today because I did Google it.
Thank you.
We have Jenna
Mm-hmm.
Marasco, right?
Maraska.
I didn't write down her last name. Kelly Wiggles, Kim Spradlin, Rachel Lamont, and Chrissy Hopbeck.
And now Rachel Lamont was just a few seasons ago, no?
47, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But for anybody who complains about the endurance challenges favoring women, and anyone who wants to give men the second place contribution prize, let me read off for you the men who have won more than 4 times immunity. Colby Donaldson, Tom Westman, Terry Dietz, Ozzy Lush, Mike Holloway, Brad Culpepper, Joe Englum, Rob Mariano, Rick Devens, Kyle Oswald, and Tony Vlachos. More than double. So
Yeah.
fuck off.
Oh, yeah. No, we're not. We don't play that game here on Coming In Queens, and I hope that no one that is tuning in thinks that we would ever play that game.
No, we don't. We don't fuck around with that. Okay, so that's my rant about that. Oh my gosh, then they don't wash them off at the reward. I was like, what? Can you please just let them shower in the ocean? Take a bath.
And there's something so like gratifying about watching oh, we're feeling so nice and fresh. We get to eat. Instead, we get Savannah with mud on her tooth, chomping into a steak. And so in your mind, you're just thinking, oh, a sandy bite of steak.
Yeah, that's gritty. We didn't forget to mention that Savannah chose sage. Did you have anything about that? I didn't. I thought that was a good move.
I didn't think it was good or bad. I think it didn't really. I guess maybe if she thinks she has everybody else's jury vote on lock, well, then maybe she should have brought Christina. Savannah played a very shrewd game, but when she said in this episode something that I normally would have rolled my eyes at, and I think I maybe even did until this second watch through this morning while I did my makeup, she was like, I've played with heart this whole game, and I've just it's been based on relationships, and it feels eye-rolly coming from her, but when you think about it, we just know her to be a bit of a mean girl because that's just kind of the thing she was saying. But ultimately, she did stick with the people she stuck with. I think that she genuinely meant it and felt it when she said, Sophie, I'm genuinely hurt that Sophie did this. Sophie's been my best friend, one of my best friends out here. And we were you want to shit on it when people say stuff like that. But ultimately, she did do that. And I think in this moment, she was Sage is starving. And I'm beginning to like her since we're a smaller group and we're being forced to like get to know each other a little better. And I want to eat some steak with her. And I think that's all it
Yeah,
was.
I do, and I also think that I agree with you. And I think that at this point, Savannah pretty much knows she has a good and realistic chance to beat any single person that's left.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a big difference. And I do think that she starts to manage the jury a little bit in the sense that she's like, we have to send Christina home because she's a better fire maker. And you see her in the final tribal saying and bragging up Christina. I think that like that was a way to kind of like, I'm going to gas her up with saying that she's a good fire maker. We did get a Christina fire making montage at that
Which was
moment.
so cute. Yeah.
Which was cute. But anyway, so she is in for Sage staying, and Rizzo and Sophie back there like, no, we can beat Christina. Let's take Christina and get Sage out right now.
Which, how do we feel about this? Because on one hand, I think, okay, let me say this. On a game like Dragula, on a game like House of Villains, on a game like Traitors, I think it is so much smarter to say, oh yeah, we are gonna just slice and dice the other top competitors so that we can take the lowliest of nothing nobodies to the end so we can just stomp them. In a game like Survivor in these days, I do feel like there is something to be said about saying, I want to beat the best. If I want to be the best, I want to beat the best. And so I do feel like Savannah's ideas were more in line with how I feel about the game. You know?
Yeah.
Then like
I
when
agree.
she said to Rizzo, like, and now you're gonna try to play it safe, or now you're scared of, I don't know. When you're in the game, you don't always know what the juries think. You don't always know what. So you might have a very skewed idea of the perceptions of other people and who you may have a better chance at beating or not.
That's right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, because they're all over at Ponderosa campaigning for the winner, who they think should win, and trying to sway everybody's opinions. So when they come into tribal council, their opinions are pretty much fully formed. I don't think it really changes their mind very much, the final tribal speeches. They're pretty set on who they think is going to win. So I'm of the same opinion. I'm like, and there hasn't been many in the 40s, a positive for the 40s. I don't think people are dragging the goats to the end. I don't remember it. Maybe there has been,
I feel like I haven't even heard the term goat in a long time.
I haven't either. Instead, it's the greatest of all time now. But yeah, I agree. Bring the better person, bring the better competitor. But I do think that Savannah's like pretty confident she could beat any of them. So what's next? We move and we go back to Rizzo. I wrote Rizzo crocodile tears because at this point he and Sophie really want Sage out, and Savannah stays strong. She's like, no, I want Christina out. If I get put into the final four tribal or final four fire making, Christina's gonna beat me, and she is pretty sure she's gonna be put in fire making.
And then she's like,
I mean,
oh,
somewhat.
I just looked at this pile of wood and a fire started. Huh. Turns
I think
out
bluffing.
I'm good at everything. No, I think that was genuine.
You think it was genuine?
I think so, because I don't think a person like that. In fact, I found it kind of. I did not like it when she said that she had zero confidence, like going into it, because like I think she was being genuine, and I don't like seeing people be down on themselves like that, especially when it's crunch time. I think that there was like a quiet confidence inside of her, but like ultimately, I do think she was like, "Oh no, Rizzo saying over here is being like, yeah, put me in fire," and she's like, no, I'm good.
I disagree on that point, just because I think that it's off-brand for Savannah to not be confident. Like, she's a super confident person. At Tribal, she was sitting, like, in a power stance. I kept on saying, like, at any minute, she's going to stand up and piss on everybody. She was just standing, like,
spray.
so powerful, so strong, just squirt. And then so I feel like it was off-brand for her to say, I can't make fire. So that's where I was thinking, where she was like, I think she was more confident than she was letting on that she could, and she wanted to just gas up Christina and compliment her at the end, because she knew Christina's not going to vote for me. Anyway, difference of opinion. I love that.
Yeah, and I love that.
And Rizzo, I think that Rizzo and Sophie were somewhat intimidated by Savannah. Savannah is very confident, and they were like, "We can't. I don't want to make her mad."
Well, you hear Riz say, he literally goes, I don't want to make you mad. And
yeah, he does.
And Soph
and he
says,
gets the crocodile tears.
Soph says, well, what do you think about Sav? Like, she stumbles over her name. And that's like, it just like gave vibes of like being scared of Savannah, which Savannah's like pretty intimidating because she's just not afraid to be like, well, why would you want to do that? Because this and this and this. And that's a lot to like, you know, it's just disarming, you know? And
would you be disarmed by that?
Given the right circumstances, yes. Like, I'm not a very, I don't shake very easily, but
I don't either.
I surprise myself sometimes in my reactions to things, like in certain ways when I think I would be like, oh, no. Let me tell you what. I'm also, in the moment, I'll be like, you know what? I think the best thing right now is just to like nod and, you know, take it easy. And then sometimes where I think like that would be the best course of action is to just like keep it low. I'll be like, flip my lid, you know?
Yes.
So it is, yes. And that's what somebody like that does, is they literally disarm you. But like for me, like I get told that I'm disarming.
Me too.
And that like people will like, once they get to know me, they'll be like, I was so intimidated by you. And I'm like, for what? Like, I feel like I don't give off like that kind of energy, but it's just certain things that I'll say to me feel like, oh, I'm just like being jovial and I'm just like sharing my opinion. But to others are like, that was very bold. Like, I can't believe that you just said that, like, in this situation. And it's like, well, aren't we all thinking it? You know, like, it's so to me in my head, it's not like I'm not trying to be confrontational, but other people might read it that way because they would never say something like that in that situation. So I think that's very much Savannah. I think sometimes she sets out to be disarming and confrontational, and other times that's just who she is.
Naturally who she is. Yeah. We share that trait. I sometimes get cold. People tell me that I'm cold or opinionated, which is crazy to say because it's like, doesn't everyone have opinions?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of expressing them. But I do think my blind spot in Survivor would be the type of people that we respect, the powerful women, would be the ones that disarm me, whereas I would go off if a man did the same thing. Like, I would not take that from a man. I would see right through it, but that archetype that we love, I think would probably snow me.
Bro,
I know. Me in the palm of their hand.
I don't need to be carried, bro.
Speaking of Cowrong, can you believe
the audacity?
I still
Dalton.
shooketh.
Dalton.
You
know what? We're going to need you to come on this podcast so we can just
I don't want him on this
dress
podcast.
you down. Oh. You hear that, Dalton? Jacob doesn't want you on the podcast.
Okay, we'll take whatever we can get. I do think the other thing I was thinking about this is that do you think it's more in the newer seasons, people are more concerned about being friends than they are about winning the game? It feels as if they come on and they want to be friends with everybody on the cast.
Yes, that is the whole thing about casting villains, is that the villains are always like, I don't give a shit. You'll either like me or you won't outside of here. This is a game.
Yes.
And people will come on here and say, this is a game if I have to do this. But like, even in putting Savannah and Rizzo up to fire making, Sophie B was still like, and I hope this doesn't affect our relationship outside of this or after the game. And if you notice, they do not cut to any sort of reaction from Savannah, because I guarantee you Savannah was like,
we'll see.
She did not take kindly to that.
You know that I had several eye rolls when people said my best friend. And I don't even think they said my best friend in the game. They said my best friend. And I was like, I am certain that I would not be calling somebody my best friend after 20 days. It takes a long time for me to make that proclamation.
You were saying this, but I have a question. Have you
Yeah.
ever, it doesn't necessarily count when you're a kid, but in your adult life, have you ever been like a camp counselor or like something where you were like in,
This is really out of left field.
no, where you're like
camp counselor?
where you're forced to like be off somewhere with a group of people where you're sort of disconnected from the rest of the world pretty much.
Mhm.
And like just
yeah,
like
I can.
yeah, how tightly you can form bonds and like
Yes.
and genuinely be like, wow, you're like already one of my like very best friends.
Yeah. So a group of and shout out to my Going Deeper group. They will know what that is. It's like when the
Yes,
pandemic
yes.
started, Parvati did the groups of the group coaching, and we had a wonderful group of 10 people. We still stay in touch with each other 5 years later or 6 years later after that, after we did those groups, because it was not only like Parvati in that whole situation, but it was the fact that we were just starting COVID or the lockdown, and there was, we were very cut off. And then we were in this container of sharing our like very
Every
deep,
day you were like
personal
just letting
stories,
it bleed all over. Yeah.
and crying and like just really going through it together. So to this day, like I'm very close friends with that group of 9 other people, and we still talk. And I mean, I've had that, and yet, like I don't. That was over the course of like almost a year. That wasn't over the course of 20 days. So I mean, I get it. To say your best friend in the game would be something different.
Was
but I
my
think they were
point.
just.
I would always specify like, she's my best friend out here, or yeah.
And I generally try not to say best friend in life because I have a few very close friends that I've accrued over the years. To say a best friend says that the other ones aren't. You know what I mean?
Mama.
To make this proclamation that you are my best friend somehow like lowers the other ones.
Mama. Best friend is not a person. Best friend is a tier.
Okay.
Multiple people on the tier.
I know. Well, I always say one of my best friends because I have a few.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I heard
best friend corner.
Mindy Kaling say that in that show that she had, when she said that, I was like, it's like a light bulb went off. Like, best friend is not a person, best friend is a tier. Duh.
I love that. Yeah, it is a tier, and it's there's no better word to describe that type of a person because you can't just call them a friend.
Exactly, and that qualifier just helps you. You're not just it's like you're telling a story or you're sharing with somebody. You're not just saying, oh, my friend from work. You're saying like my best friend and I, or my best friend said this, whatever.
Okay, so let's go to we did the reward challenge. Steven looking hot. And then we have the tribal council where Rizzo plays his anal beads, and he didn't need to.
And wouldn't that have been so, again, along in the same vein as things people should have done this season, for Rizzo to have done all of that lying and like hoodwinking to then go, I'm playing this for Christina. And like saying, I want Sage out and get Sage out. But instead, he played it for himself, which he knew at that point knew he definitely did not need to do.
Yeah.
Like he should have just taken it home.
He said he bamboozled people.
No, he bee-boozled.
Bee-boozled people. Is that a thing that the kids are saying? Because he also said something about I'm cooked, chat.
No, that's definitely slang. But bee-boozled, I believe, was just what occurred to me is that English is probably his, if not second language, it's like his concurrent language. So I think that there are some things that we've been like reading him for filth over that now I kind of feel bad about.
Oh, well, we haven't been reading him for filth. I'm reading him for filth because I want him to grow up. and he can't.
You hear that, 23-year-old? Grow up.
Yeah, but I know. Speaking of the going deeper group, I love you, Bailey. Bailey, this girl who is like 18 or 19, who has more maturity than I have. So there are people who have life experience and maturity in their younger years. I didn't. I mean, I didn't. So I can't, I'm one to talk. I was doing a bunch of blow in the clubs.
Got into coke. Um,
Glad.
I was saying, all right, I was a downers girl. Um, so I was saying superlatives. These are my notes, or top of my notes. Um, I said, well, first of all, U.S. Survivor as a whole. I said, I think we said this before. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And I said, U.S. Survivor has become the villain because
Yeah,
they were heroes for
unfortunately.
so long.
Yeah.
I said worst move of the season, Sophie not using the knowledge is power on Rizzo.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna make a list of ideas for the best move of the season, but this far I only got one thing so far, which was the best move, Rizzo be-boozling about the idol. Was that the best move? Because he hoodwinked everyone. He had it for the most. Has anyone ever had an idol that long that everyone knew
Yes.
about and were able
Yule.
to stay safe for that long? Yule?
Yule Kwan.
Was it Tony
Yeah.
too, maybe? Had a
There's been a few
stretch.
people. Let's think about it. We should do like a Queen's best of the season.
Only if you shit me the whole time.
Our favorite queen. But yeah, so in that tribal council, Christina goes home, and then the next thing I have is we have another obstacle course, which I was very, very upset about. This is the final challenge. Wait, is it the final challenge? Yeah, it's the final challenge because this is where we're gonna go into final four fire making, and then it's the three. And we had a table maze.
Oh, right. It's the whole. It's the this, and they have the sand. They have. Yeah, I that's when I disassociated. I think I
We did
actually.
disassociate
Yeah.
because we came to and Sophie was winning, and I'm like, what? Where did that happen? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And she won the whole thing. She won the immunity. She really needed it. I thought it was great that she did that. It was because we had lots of feelings about her not stealing Rizzo's advantage or his idol last time. Um, do it for Nana. Like she should have done that. I think she would have won the game.
Do it for your
She would
fucking
have
grandma.
won the game. Do it for your fucking grandma. You know, because looking back and not knowing she got to the final three, if she got to the final three, I guarantee she would have won the game if she would have done that.
Yeah, stolen
Maybe.
Rizzo's idol and then won this thing. Yeah, because I paid more attention this morning and she was behind, like way behind. And
Yeah.
then she was the last one to the thing. And then she got there and even Grandpa Jeff was like, Sophie putting together this puzzle like she designed it. So good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, good for her. And then the other thing that I loved that she did, and she realized potentially from the fact that Rizzo kind of screwed her over at the Lost Tribal Council, she can't count on these people, and she doesn't want to hear their cases. She's like, leave me alone. Nobody's pleading their case to me. I'm making a decision of who I'm putting in fire making, and she's like, nobody's talking to me. I love that.
Well, yeah, and they've talked ad nauseum at each other for days and days and days now. I think it's probably pretty rare that people change someone's mind at this point in the game about something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not rare. Rare in recent seasons where everyone's kumbaya and like, you know, talking. Because in some cases, some people haven't even talked until this moment in the game. But here and now, we understand that, like, you know, Sophie has, especially her being her, like she says in her final arguments, that like everyone was willing to talk to her about things. So like she did know everyone's game. She did know everyone's ideas about other people and what. So yeah, I really like that. I appreciate that.
And Savannah gets a little hurt about it, but I think that's back to the fact that Tracy Flick, she has to be in control, and she's not in control. And she has been in control, and her fate is out of her hands. And she's upset, which she shouldn't be, that Sophie's probably going to send her to fire making because she's her best friend.
Yeah, it's like on that one hand, she's like, I'm confident that I'm in the lead here. But then on the other hand, she's like, well, but then wouldn't she want, like, she literally says, I think she's going to put me in fire because, uh, she knows I'm such a strong competitor and that like that she'll have a better shot of winning if I'm not in the end. And it's like, well, yeah, girl,
Yeah, girl.
you just
That's the whole point.
explained it.
So yeah, I mean, I think that that was a good move to put Rizzo and Savannah in fire making, and to take Sage and go Sage. Sage made it through to the final three, and we were thrilled because, not to jump ahead, but I think Sage was probably our queen of the season.
I
Would you
mean,
say?
I wouldn't. I don't
Yeah,
think that's like that's. I think we've been very vocal about that.
we've been very vocal since the beginning that Sage is our queen. Yeah. Okay. Well, there was one other note that I did want to backtrack to because before we go on to the fire making, for the love of God, straight men, if you are listening, stop wearing cargo shorts with belts.
Now, what do you suggest that they wear no belts with their cargo shorts?
Listen, no. Why can't they wear cuter, like, short shorts? Like, I'm just, like, we need to come into the modern days. Like,
Who are we talking
men
about here?
wear short shorts. Wear Speedos. We're never going to get to Speedos. We can't plead
Not in
that
America.
case. Can we get to, like, above the knee shorts? Can we make a compromise? Above the knee?
Who are we talking about here? Rizzo?
Straight men. Rizzo
Just
was
straight
wearing
men, period.
cargo shorts, huge cargo shorts, 4 sizes too big.
Can you believe
way
that they're
down to his shins?
even still in style? Like there was
They're
a
not, are
moment in time in style enough where we keep seeing them.
Like,
Like,
what are they putting in those pockets?
because like the idea of cargo shorts, like the utility of them, I appreciate, but there are ways that we could have like really updated that, really made that sleeker, nicer, shorter. But no, we still have the giant ass, baggy ass, not flattering, gross, nasty string ties at the bottom of them in case you want to
String
close them off at the end there.
Now, lesbians can wear them all they want,
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm just advocating for straight men, straight men.
Lesbians,
Please,
lesbians
you.
are allowed to wear any men's fashion from now to any time in history. They're allowed.
Anytime in history.
They're allowed.
Anytime. Petticoats, like whatever you want.
Straight men, dead
Let's
to me.
get some above the knee shorts. Thank you,
Please.
for hearing us out. That's a good reel. You should clip that. Okay, so we're gonna go into the fire making, in which we already hinted that Sophie sends Savannah and Rizzo. Savannah has very little confidence, I think probably more than she's letting on, that she is going to come out of this fire making. And yet, she created a bonfire at that challenge.
Was that maybe the biggest fire we've ever seen at a fire making challenge?
It was one. I mean, it was no Becky and Sandra during Cook Islands, but
Wait, was that
insider Survivor joke?
Was that the one where they just had to like call it, or they had to give them matches?
No, they gave them matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, she comes out on top. Probably in a lot of areas of her life, she comes out on top. But on the fire making, she definitely comes out on top. She's in the final three. We have our final three women,
Yes.
which we've wanted the whole season.
Yes.
And Sophie, super fan of the show, pointed out that the last final three was San Juan del Sur, Natalie, Missy, and Jacqueline.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was that long.
That's
29.
a long ass time. So for let's talk about how Rizzo got Jeff to say, which I think we missed last night when we watched together and the group of us. He got Jeff to say, Riz God, the tribe has spoken.
Now, was Jeff not calling him Riz God the whole time?
No.
I don't remember.
No.
Okay. All right.
Grandpa Jeff's not that dementia yet. And then cut to after when they were celebrating the three women, and both Savannah and Sage are talking about how Rizzo is such a character. He definitely needs to come back. Savannah's like, he's gonna come back and he's gonna win this whole
That's
thing.
funny.
I
I know.
mean, let's production did that on purpose. Like,
Do you think?
absolutely, they knew that he was
Yeah,
gonna be on
let's
50 by
conspiracy
then.
theory.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because they want to be like,
Oh, I see. So it may have been a passing thing, but they highlighted it.
yes,
The editors.
yes,
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's pretty
I'm
funny.
definitely thinking that. I liked this moment because they did sort of a rites of passage that they used to do, even though they used to do the rites of passage where they would walk and like say everyone, and I loved that. That's like some of the most dramatic moments when they would show like the cinematography of where they were at, and they would go through each person and they would like carry the torches of them or do other things. So they did a little rites of passage here, like talking through each one on the jury. And then in the new era, the jury gets the fashion shots, like
Uh-huh. With their like real clothes on and yeah,
yeah, with their real clothes on,
shaven.
and Nate's bald face, which we didn't love. We loved your beard. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good final three eating. They usually get breakfast. Didn't they get breakfast?
Yeah,
I can't
they
remember.
they get
Yeah,
breakfast.
of course they did. And then we get this thing that Sage served in the military during Afghanistan, and she's going to reveal that during the final
I
tribal council.
believe we learned that in like the first or second
Did we?
episode. We just
I don't
didn't
remember.
know who
Oh.
anyone was, so like we didn't care.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we may
Yeah.
have. I don't remember that. So
Yeah.
this spring, when she brought it up, it was a surprise to me. Which good for her. She's super smart. She's
Great
quirky,
for
she's
her,
emotional.
and we'll get to it, but I really wish she would have like. There's a fine line between harping on it, and I think she did too little. I think she really should have brought in, like, not necessarily always being like, and because of my military background, but just starting to use like those tactical strategic like terms and stuff to show like I actually know my shit and these are the things.
Yeah.
Instead she was like telling instead of showing. If that makes sense, since they're all telling. But you know what I mean, like yeah.
She did better than I thought. I hear you on that. I do think that it was falling flat with the jury. You could see them like, I think in their mind she had flip flopped and turned on all of them, whereas Savannah, all of them knew that that was the enemy. Whereas like Sage became friends with all of them, and sometimes that doesn't go over well. It's like the motherly figure that stabbed you in the back, kind of a thing.
Well, and every time
but I
she
was
had any
thinking-
sort of argument, they were like, yeah, but then everyone else had that idea too. So
Yeah,
what did
I
you
was
do?
thinking like we have compared her a little bit to Carolyn, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is what I wish Carolyn would have done in the final tribal. Instead of like, she kind of fell into herself a little bit, and she
Yes.
was bullied by them, and she sort of didn't have the best arguments. She held her own, and in fact, we were like, maybe she will sway them, but
Yes. Well, Sage held her own in the beginning, and then she sort of started deflating to the point
Yeah.
where after Savannah's closing statement, Sage literally said, like, well, that's a tough act to follow. And it's like, don't do that. Do not do that in the final statements. Like, you're just literally like saying, like, well, you're clearly the winner, but I guess I'll go and say my piece now.
and Sophie was just happy to be there.
The complete shock on her face and
she got a
vocally
vote.
that she got 2 votes was
2 votes.
hilarious.
However, like, it's not that far-fetched for somebody of just focusing on the social game, which primarily she focused on the social game. We've got some good examples of your girl, Michelle, Sandra twice, some other, well, Kinsey to some extent. She kind of has the same storyline as Kinsey. She was on that tribe that was decimated.
Mhm.
So it's not that out of reach for her to win with that social game.
Yeah.
played
Well,
great
she
social
had a
game.
good, she made good arguments and stuff. So that's why it was like so surprising to me that she was so surprised that she got any votes. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, also I think that's kind of like what makes her endearing is that she's like, I'm just a little sticky. I'm
Yeah.
just a sticky little kid.
sticky little kid. But yeah, she was making the jury laugh. Like, you can tell she had good relationship with them because they were like, every time she talked, they were laughing.
Yeah.
And just like not at her, like with her, of like what she was saying. So it was cute. I like Sophie.
Are we just like free for alling going on the final grilling
Yeah,
jury
let's
phase?
do it. I mean,
so okay, I said okay, but Christina's ask of Savannah was brutal, and I loved it.
yeah, it was good.
I want you to name one family member or friend. I'll even give you friends of everyone up here. And when she was like, and with Savannah, which was a smart move in the beginning to go, I don't think I can do that. For her to go, I'd like you to try, please. So then that made her go through. I still would not have gone through every single person, but I think that Savannah needed to try to go through each one to see if is there. I think that her better bet would have at least been to, and she tried to an extent, was to at least say, okay, I don't know names because I'm personally shitty at names. I don't even know your name. Who are you again?
I'm awful
Jacob?
at names.
Jacob, is it?
What?
But the better bet would have been for her to say, I don't know their names, but I know this about them. I know this about them. I know that this that your significant other has gone through this and this and this. Like, she kind of did it. It wasn't enough, but that was the most brutal thing that Christina did all season.
Yeah. Oh my God, I loved it. And my favorite response from Savannah was, and Steven, you have a partner? Because I was thinking, oh, she doesn't know if Steven's gay either.
Right to the very end. Sorry, Steven.
Right to the very end. Sorry, Steven.
But in that, Savannah was like, when she was saying, I should, to Christina, and I should be remembering it because I know when you were on that beam, I was saying, do it for your kid. And I say, whatever you say, Savannah, because we all know you said, do it for your fucking mom.
Your fucking mom. Yeah.
And what she meant by that was, do it for your fucking dead mom. Do it for your dead fucking mom, Christina.
I loved it. I think there was a little bit of a miss from Juwan here, because Juwan just asked, what is your why? Which that leads to like the questions that I don't like, because it's like, what are you playing? It's not.
Why do you deserve this money? Why do you deserve this money?
That's the question.
What in your real life?
I don't love that question.
Makes us. But I will say, give it to Savannah, because she said, I don't think it. I don't think that you should base your vote on it, because these other two have better whys than me. Because my why is, I deserve it because I want it. And that's exactly what I would have to say. Like, of course I want to help out my family and friends, but ultimately, fuck them. They didn't come out here and starve and fight for their lives on this island. Like, no, that I want it for me, and that's my why.
Yeah. Any other observations from the final tribal? I don't have any other ones. Sage had a beautiful answer about her friend who passed away from leukemia, and also her partner. I thought that was gorgeous, and to pull on the heartstrings at this moment is good and honest, but it's also strategic.
Yeah,
so I think it's
as
great.
long as it's good and honest. If it's transparent that you're doing it just to gain sympathy, then gross, you're disgusting. Yeah. You should.
And we know with Sage, there's no air being put on. There's no.
I don't think she can do
deception.
that.
She is who she is. Yeah.
So Savannah shades Sophie about putting her. She was like, basically like, well, I wouldn't have put my two allies that I went to the end of this game with up against to make fire, but she wasn't even doing it in like the sore loser way that we hate. She was just stating a fact in a way that was like, yeah, she definitely she called out your ass, Sophie, because at that point it was kind of like probably Sophie's best game move.
Yeah,
she kind of literally within the same breath in one of Sophie's arguments, she said, I didn't backstab anyone up here, and then turned around and said, but I put my two best allies up against each other in fire making. So, like, you kind of did backstab them a little bit, like, even though it was your best move. But I just appreciated that Savannah was like... So our theory was, in the end, was that because during it we didn't really know which way it was going because they were being very hard on Savannah. But then once we saw the votes come out, at least I surmised that they came in knowing they were going to go vote for Savannah. So they said, we want to at least drag her a bit. We want to like sort of hold a mirror up to her a little bit and like get a few jabs in before we give her $1 million, because we are kind of like pissed that, and we do think she's a bit uppity and she's a bit of a mean girl. So we do kind of want to like rub her face in it, but ultimately she deserved it and she's not that bad.
Yeah. Ultimately she deserved it. And I think you're right. They're just putting her through the motions. Oh, there was something I was going to say about that. I can't remember.
Savannah, Sophie betraying her.
Yeah, but but Savannah also does have the luxury of knowing that she could probably beat any of them, and she did.
And she did.
A great winner of a
great winner that we knew was the winner before the season already started.
Yeah, because unfortunately,
they
should have put them on different planes. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, they absolutely should have done
was,
something to try to hide who it was.
Yeah.
Or not casted the fucking winner of the season on season 50, period. She was a great winner, but she wasn't my favorite character of the season. She wasn't. Sage would have been a better casting.
Well, I know. I think so. But I also think that in comparison to 48, I think they could have left off season 48, to be honest with you. I'm going to agree with know-it-alls on this one. And then these two, I think that they're looking at them as the new legends types of the game. They do bring something different than some of the other cast members. I don't know. Yeah.
I would have taken Camilla.
They just
should
have put them on a different plane. Camilla,
Kyle didn't need to go.
And Joe, come on.
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh, we were talking about...
Should we say...
Oh my God, those seasons. Okay.
Do you want to highlight your favorite move? I have one. I thought of it. Sage voting off the crazy yoga turned Christian woman. What was her name?
Sarah? ? Was it Sarah?
I don't remember her name. Sarah. I'm sure it started with an S, probably. Shannon. It was so good. It was a blind side, and the reaction that Shannon had to it was so fun and just iconic. I loved that. That's my favorite move of the season.
Yes, that was my favorite, like, editing, my favorite story arc. That episode, I think, was the best episode. Just because it was like they kept showing like her sort of duplicitous nature, yet she was just like, but I love God, but also yoga. Sure, I'll agree with that.
Okay. And Sage is our queen. Come on in, queen. We have to get her on.
Come on in, queen.
She made contact with us, but I don't know if she's under NDA. We'll ask her.
I think so now. I think, yeah. Well, we can at least say how much can you tell us up until that point? Because the only thing that she mentioned that for was like, she was like, I can't wait to reveal all there is to say about those chickens. So it's like, what about the chickens does your NDA cover? Is it just until the episodes air?
The chicken drama.
Or are they like, you cannot talk about these chickens for a year after, like, what is it? What is the NDA?
That's funny.
Well, I hope that we can find out. Sage, come on in.
Come on in. That's all I have to say. About the
season. Okay, a whole fucking teaser trailer to tear into, or do we want to make that our next episode?
Oh, okay. So let's say two things. There was a trailer for Send Help with Rachel McAdams, where she was making her Survivor audition video, and then it looks like a dark comedy.
Which,
looks great.
Well, no. Okay, so first of all, you know how they'll do silly little, it's generally with other CBS shows, where they'll do stupid little tie-ins to like Survivor or whatever, to be like, and watch our show that's coming up next. But they'll like call out the total
Yeah.
Survivor in general. So this to me was like that, and I was like, how far has Rachel McAdams fallen from like this is insane. She's like doing this entire tie-in with Survivor. Like, come on, network television, what's going on? But that's actually part of the movie. In the movie, they're watching her audition for Survivor, and they're laughing at her, and then the plane crashes, and like they end up being on an island. Oh my god, I can't wait! This is a movie that like I would have written if I ever actually sat down and tried to write a movie. Because it's like, what things can I that I love that I can also speak on, which is my favorite stories, which is why I love Survivor in the first place, are like a group of people getting shoved together that then have to work together to solve a common problem. And so it's like, deserted island sort of stories always fall under that. And then to make it like this sort of revenge arc, I love it. And I love Rachel McAdams. I mean, I could watch her read a phone book.
Too. Season 50 trailer. Okay,
so we were so
trailer.
Jazzed. We were like, apparently things are going to be like different, and they're actually going to like shift some things that are like going to make this a little. They're gonna try to make it a new era. They're going to take 50 and go, we're doing a new era now. We're going to change it up. How did they change it up, Jacob?
Well, just to say that for us, changing it up would have been get rid of the things that you did in the 40s and start fresh and clean. To them, changing the game up was to bring Zac Brown, Mr. Beast, Jimmy Fallon, Billie Eilish into the game to somehow have this like celebrity component in which potentially, we don't know, but potentially they'll be able to manipulate the game in some way.
Yes. And they even went so far as to call it and brand it and have it on the logo inside of the game in the hands of the fans.
Which fans?
I would have even bought into them saying, this is Sally Joe from Arkansas, and she's going to come in today and she's going to run this game. She's going to run this challenge for you. Shit like that. That would have been beautiful. That would have been heartwarming and great. No, it's celebrities that are also like borderline, not even borderline, extremely problematic, and like, have a history of like not being great people. And now you're going to have them come on.
You're specifically talking about Mr. Beast and Zac Brown, or who are you?
I don't know anything about Zac Brown, but I know that
Jimmy Fallon and Billie Eilish are not.
No, we love Billie Eilish, but like, no, Jimmy Fallon has a history, or like, is rumored to be like a bit of like a Ellen type, perhaps monster behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, fucking
I was thinking
Mr. Beast has all of that scandal and whatever.
Yeah.
I want to hear Suri be like, "What the fuck." I want to hear Suri's like,
across the
genuinely
board,
unfiltered take on it.
You know how online I am. Across the board, like all Survivor fans are really disappointed. Even the ones that are like fully in, because it's like, why experiment or tinker with a returnee season? I get tinkering with seasons that are like, if you go into 51 and this is what Survivor is going to be, and you're having like celebrity endorsements, and like they used to do, movie previews, and they used to do like, they'd watch a movie that was like in theaters, or they'd like get a car, but that's fine. But then like I was thinking, why not bring Jerry Manthe or like Parvati?
Well, just the returnees in general are the celebrity,
and have
sort
them
of
do any manipulation, right? Like, this is a celebration of 25 years of the show, which did not include any sort of celebrity.
Famously did not include Billie Eilish.
But it did the Tyler Perry.
Yes, and guess
idol,
what?
which they got rid of.
We all thought that was hogwash. Tyler Perry coming in and making our game something? What? I feel like they're beboozling us with the season 50 shit.
They're beboozling us for sure. Which led me to say to everybody in the group, I was like, I'm not watching this show anymore.
I said, well,
and
good thing
maybe that would be true.
I said, good thing that we just started a podcast about our love of Survivor.
Well, I mean, we're going to pivot to the Traitors, but I do think that, like you said, this show has been going on for so long. They're still winning the rating. I think that they're ready to lose like longtime fans of the show, and that's probably what it'll be. Like, I can't believe that I've watched this show for this long.
I thought this is if we thought they had jumped the shark before, this is the jumping of the shark.
This is the
this
jump
is
the
the
shark,
selling
yeah.
out. This is the what the fuck Billie Eilish boomerang idol. I mean, I know that these people are hamming it up for the confessionals and for the show because they're on the island, and that's probably like the most exciting thing that happened for them, like in days and days. But for like even them they have to be inside of their own minds, like what the fuck has happened to this game that I love so well? What are we doing? What is going on?
And can you imagine if like Christian gets taken out because of
because of Jimmy
one of
Fallon?
those stupid
Christian goes out of the
Yeah,
game
like-
because Jimmy Fallon like farted weird.
farting weird. I love that you said hogwash earlier. Let's bring it back. Hogwash. My grandma used to say that. That's hogwash. All right. Well, that was our rant about 50. We're not happy about it. We're still gonna watch it.
And I thought that it would be vague enough for us to be able to go like, well, okay, like, all right. I see like a, but no, they told us exactly why it was gonna suck, what was gonna suck about it, and specifically who was gonna make it suck. And it's called when I don't know. Never mind.
Meltdown.
I have one final thing that I
Yeah.
want to say like right before we like sign off.
Okay.
That's about the show. Are we done
Alrighty.
already? Okay.
We're done. I'm done. It's an hour and a half show. We're
Yeah.
gonna be super
We're gonna
sized here.
take a week or so off until Traitors, right?
We're taking 2 weeks off.
2 weeks
Yes,
off.
until the Traitors comes on. We're gonna recap the Traitors season 4. Join us. What a great show.
Keep your
What a
eyes-
great cast. I'm excited.
Keep your eyes peeled for a reel or two featuring our lost episode
Oh my god, where my tooth fell out
multiple times, which
right before your eyes.
we will put on the internet forever.
Mhm.
While I was like about to edit, I was gonna text you and be like, "Are you sure you're okay with me fully highlighting your tooth falling out of your face multiple times?" Fuck it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not. You better tell me now. Okay. I know we didn't catch this because why? We turned it off after the reunion started.
Oh yeah.
And you said,
this
I'm
is
not
a
watching
long
that.
Show.
Oh,
No.
first of all, I
It was
did.
already 10:15.
Right. I watched
Jesus.
it all the way to the end. Today, just because why not? But when I pulled it up, 3 hours of network television today, shrunken down, taken all the commercials out. In the past, probably would have gone down to like 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 9 minutes. There is 51
Christ.
minutes of commercials during this show.
That's wild.
That is insane. Good thing we
is
don't have to watch
insane.
network television anymore unless we're forced to.
No kidding. Well, we might because Netflix just bought CBS, Paramount.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Oh, God,
Netflix,
all the monopolies.
it's going to be in a conglomerate, and we went from cable to streaming, and now we're going to go to streaming to some sort of like premium streaming.
Yeah, if you
I
can't
just know
pay
that.
$1,000 a month, then you have to watch an ad every 2 minutes. Okay.
All right, well, that's been the show, everyone.
That's been the
Oh!
show. That's been the show. And
Okay,
To-
what were you going to reveal?
to sign off, the very last word uttered for this season, where it's already faded to black, and it is Jeff saying, in our most favorite form of Grandpa Jeff,
God.
him saying, "Cheers!" They're all cheersing, and he says "cheers" in his terrible British
In his
accent that
Cockney
he's been
accent?
playing
Oh,
with this
no,
season.
that
I
he's
was
been-
like,
he's been workshopping.
it almost makes me feel like there's an editor.
Cheers.
There's an editor that is on the same level as us. That is like, oh, I'm fucking putting this in there, Jeff.
I'm gonna drag this ass. Yeah.
Cheers,
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Grandpa Jeff. And you know he just
Well,
loved
we'll
it
be back
too.
To the Traitors.
He said, ha, 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 "I love that so much."
Chuckled.
Yep. See you
He
for the
is.
Traitors.
This brand of man that exists today who has a very, very passive relationship with truth and reality.
Mhm.
That's all I'll say.
Yep.
Great. Let's recap the Traitors. Hope you've loved season 49.
I
We're
hope
gonna
you've
get
at least
Sage on.
loved it with us.
Yeah. That's right.
And to all of you out there, have a happy holidays.
Have a happy holidays. We'll see you in the new year.
Love you.
Bye.